Milind Deora, why did you decide to speak at this point?
I don't, of mental health issues. I wouldn't call it depression, and that can be anything from self-doubt all the way to suicidal thoughts and acute depression. And it's such a stigmatized area of health that the first reaction people receive from family members, from friends, from their work colleagues is that why should you be depressed? Why should you be upset? You have everything going for you. And mental health actually transcends age, it transcends gender, it transcends economic strata.
Absolutely.
It transcends success and fame. You can be the most successful businessman, entertainer, and
in fact, Milind, I wanted to ask you that, because I think again, when people were talking about this tragic death, they said, oh, he seemed to have it all. He's talented, he's charismatic, he's an actor. Even when you come out to say, but you're a success, you're a politician, you've been a minister, you're still in active politics, that successful people somehow have no reason to face struggle of mental health issues or something of that. Do you think that this really shatters that myth?
Yeah, I think there's a huge misconception around mental health to start with. And in my own personal experience, I can tell you I've suffered from mental health issues. I've struggled with them. As a teen, I've struggled with them, Sonia, in the peak of my political career. When everything was going well for me, there was no reason for me to feel. But, what people don't understand is that the brain is an organ. And the brain is an organ just like your kidney, just like your stomach, just like your liver. And there's no reason why your liver should, there's some people who don't drink alcohol, but they suffer liver damage. There's some people who eat very healthy, but they grow in, ulcers in their stomach. There's no real reason that contributes to your brain having some form of a chemical imbalance or needing certain help. So people must realize that the brain ultimately is an organ like any other organ in your body. And the brain needs nutrition, it needs sleep, it needs meditation, it needs clean oxygen, it needs exercise. And sometimes, in spite of all those factors, the brain can fall ill and experience and manifest itself in mental health disorders.
In fact,
and that requires medication at times. But the brain, in some ways, is like it's like a muscle. You don't always need medication for a muscle tear or an injury. You can do it through physiotherapy. The brain also sometimes, when you have these kind of disorders, you can reach out to people, talk to someone who understands and appreciates what you're going through.
Absolutely.
And you can solve that without medication.
In fact, also, Milind, to point out, you just said that even when you were a minister, you felt suicidal thoughts. Now, that's really, at that point, as you said, that is a peak of political career success. Did you feel also that because in a politician, it's seen as a sign of weakness to admit that you need to reach out, or you need to talk, or you need help? How did you actually overcome that to reach out? Did you share your problems with anybody? And did you feel that this was something that would actually take away from your politics if you actually came out openly with this?
No, I never thought of it like that. I'm a very open person, and I never thought of, what would the reaction be if I spoke out or did something like that. But I managed to deal with it. During my teenage years, I think I was unable to get help, and I had to deal with it on my own. It wasn't an easy process. Later on, I was fortunate to have been introduced to a good doctor through somebody, and that person helped me along the way, and I managed to get over it. And for the last 7 or 8 years, touch wood, I haven't been suffering from any of these problems because I've learned to deal with it. Absolutely. But I think certainly in politics, more than any other profession on this planet, in fact, I think that the entertainment industry, whether it's the music industry, it's the motion picture industry, it's a far more open industry to talking about these problems and addressing these problems. I think in a profession like politics, the older generation of politicians or political thinking is that, you have to hide your illnesses, and you should not tell people that you're suffering from cancer or you're suffering from mental health disorders, or you fractured your leg or you have some other ailment. And I've seen politicians, till their last breath, they want to go to parliament, they want to go and address a political rally and act as if everything's normal. And that's not just true of India, that's true all over the world. I can understand that because our profession is such a dog-eat-dog profession, and people need to sort of provide, demonstrate a very thick skin exterior that, we're beyond criticism, and whatever you say, we're like Teflon. It just it doesn't get through our skin. But I think we need to realize that regardless of which profession we're in, we're mortal souls. And as I said, the brain is an organ.